One of the most celebrated foundations throughout Greater West Bloomfield is, of course, the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. And if you've been on social media recently, you will know that the main library branch, the one that's located right here on the Civic Center campus, is celebrating its 25th anniversary. You can see a video right now on your screen if you're watching on Civic Center TV. A lot has happened over the last 25 years, lots of changes to the building, but the main goal remains the same, helping to get everybody reading and engaged in some very, very good books. A lot has happened in the last 25 years, and here to share his thoughts on this incredible milestone is someone who's been with the library for all 25 of those years and more, Young Adult Services Coordinator Steve Ketcham. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course, this is such a very exciting time for the main library branch. 25 years. I mean, that's certainly a very, very big milestone to celebrate. What emotions or reflections come to mind as you reach this milestone?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm grateful. I've been here since 1995, so I was here in the old library. So, I've seen how the library and the community has progressed in more than 25 years. But, just grateful that we, have such an amazing community that we work in. And I hope our library reflects that.
Oh, it absolutely does. It has made such a big impact on the Greater West Bloomfield community for these past 25 years and beyond. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of changes over that time. What have been some of the biggest changes that you've witnessed in how the library serves the community?
I think one of the biggest things, outside of our core mission of literacy is technology, that kind of literacy. Because when I started in 1995, the internet was just coming into the forefront, and it was something that became more and more important. So I think that's when I really saw, and we continue to be like the educators of the community as far as new technologies. When I first started, we were teaching, introduction to the internet, how to sign up for an email. And now we're doing stuff like AI and smart home technology. So I think in technological literacy, that's where we've really, grown in the last 25 years.
That's right. And you're mentioning things that nowadays seems like second nature to so many people, but back at the time was very, very new. So I would imagine that there was a lot of adaptation during that time. And
Yes.
Now I want to talk about how the library's physical appearance has changed, either structurally or in how it's being used by the public. What have you seen in that nature?
I mean, structurally, anybody who remembers the old library, and I can barely remember it, I always tell people, but I mean, the new library reflects everything we didn't have before. Like the room I'm sitting in now is our meeting room, which the community can use for HOA meetings and things like that. We have a smaller conference room. We have, far more computer resources than what we used to have. We have a beautiful youth room, far more than what we had, with an activity center. Just everything. We have 14 group study rooms, and those are super popular, and we didn't have any of that before. So, I think that those are the things that, and we had a computer lab at one time, but that has sort of transitioned into a multi-purpose room. And now we can do more maker-oriented stuff. We have a 3D printer in there. We have a laser cutter. So that's the kind of stuff that's changed.
That's right. So many great resources right at our fingertips when you walk into the library. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with West Bloomfield Township Public Library Young Adult Services Coordinator Steve Ketcham, talking about the Civic Center Campus Library's 25th anniversary, their silver anniversary, might I add, and all of the big changes that have taken place with the library within the last 25 years. Now, Steve, what feedback have you received from patrons about how the library has impacted their lives or their learning journeys? Because I would imagine that there have been a lot of things to say over the last 25 years.
Yeah, again, I think it falls into, what I said earlier. I mean, there's a lot of people who, thank us for helping with literacy for their children, offering books, even throughout life, from young people all the way to elderly. Technology, again, we are the go-to in this community for technology training. We do one-on-one technology training with people as well. So a lot of our, more elderly population use that service. So, they are so thankful. They are very happy. I mean, we offer just so many resources. Our group study rooms yesterday, power was out for a chunk of West Bloomfield, and we were just inundated with people who needed a place to work, study, and they used our study rooms, and they were so thankful that we were here to provide that internet as well.
That's right. Lots of great resources you provide, especially for people who are in a bit of a bind when it comes to weather situations like you just mentioned. Now, with this being the 25th anniversary, I'm really curious. Is the main branch or is the West Bloomfield Library doing any special events or exhibits or celebrations to mark this anniversary and to celebrate it?
Yeah, so I can't get into much because it's still in the planning phases, but
Sure.
we will do some sort of celebration in the fall. There will also be some kind of historical, display, about the library over time. And we're also coming up with some really cool new swag that will celebrate our 25th anniversary as well. So more to come in that regard.
All right, leave me on the edge of my seat. Can't wait to hear what's to come in the coming months. Now, Steve, as we just mentioned, you have been with the West Bloomfield Library since before this main branch was even here. You've been here since 1995, 30 years. And I'm curious, what has the West Bloomfield Library meant to you personally?
I just think it is. I mean, this is the only library I ever have worked at. When I, got out of graduate school, my master's in library science, I ended up here at West Bloomfield, and I've stayed here ever since because I think this community is an avid supporter of the library, which I greatly appreciate, and I try to give back as much as I can. I think this facility is just amazing. I mean, being 25 years old, like you wouldn't even know it. I mean, it is so beautiful, and the details are so timeless. It doesn't seem like out of date, like it was something built in 2000. I mean, it just, never looks old. And just the people I work with, they're people that I love working with here. The cool thing too is because I've been here so long, I have seen people over time, like kids that I knew when I first came here are now adults with their own children. So it's very important to me. I mean, I'm very touched that I've been able to stay here, and I hope I can stay here till the end of my career. So I just love the community and the library.
I love hearing that, Steve. And once again, big congratulations to the West Bloomfield Library for this incredible anniversary. I got one more question before we wrap things up. We've seen what the last 25 years have brought to Greater West Bloomfield. What do you hope the next 25 will look like for the West Bloomfield Township Library?
Well, again, I hope that we continue to grow and meet the needs of our community as they evolve and change. I hope that we continue building and strengthening our partnerships with the community, Parks and Rec. We have a great relationship with the schools, and we go in and promote literacy in the schools. So I hope that we continue to grow and expand on that at a time when less and less people are, younger people are reading. So, and I just hope that we stay in the forefront. We do our best to be leaders in the library field and to give our community everything we possibly can.
And you provide so much for this community, and the community is grateful for everything that you do. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Bye-bye.